Active. Let us get your predictions in the comment section. Who do you think is taking game number 1? And it's about to be a ride on. Chaos Syndicate already on the front foot here with a man lost. I think Peter was the victim. He's been already sent back into the lobby. Not the best start for the team, but they have been quite proactive and trying to keep their numbers up. It's been unfortunate the way they've kicked things off, but either way, it is anyone's game. 20 teams battling and vying for an opportunity to take that chicken dinner. Trigger gets caught, knocked away there. Not the most ideal start, but it is one for the books. Again, it is one of those things you have to look out for every single time, but it works wonders when you have it sorted out. Ooh, Team 19. Idea from Sasuke. But doesn't look like much is going to come out of this one, though. Team 6 lurking around the corner. Probably have an idea on closing out on his position, though. But we will see. That's going to be a possibility. I'm not too certain that that will be done, but even at that... Now will be a very, very interesting dynamic here. This Frag night, as you all know, it's all a matter of who's going to get more eliminations than anyone else. Those are the teams we are going to be keeping our eyes on for the foreseeable future. This is a very... It's to be a very interesting dynamic either way, but it looks like some chaos is going to be brewing. Get it? Chaos Syndicate, Chaos, and Frag Knight is where it's at. Team 11 on the front foot as well. Send a couple of shots through. They've already secured one elimination. Trying to get the angles. Play off the left-hand side. He's exposed, and it works clean. Down to 18 teams now. Looks like it is going to be 6-4. Oh, well, the legend. Brothers in arms. They are the real brothers in arms. Their reflex goes down as well. I mean, they're holding Gatka in a chokehold right now. They're not giving anything away. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we love to see. Reflexes. Unfortunately, it's not going to have too much of a reflex on this one. That's something that... is going to be very, very interesting. See how they will actually pan this one through, but even at that, probably gonna have to try something different. But unique and the Team 11 also trying to lock this one down. No chance for him. He's probably going to have to close the distance between them because, again, the off angles and the third parties will come in clutch there. Another body goes out the window. That's going to be a major cause for concern for the team, but they do have the numbers working in their favor. Probably have to try to hold this one down. I think the third party gives them a little bit of leeway to close the gap there, even onto that position. 2 drops onto the sequence, and that will be another one biting the dust. They steal the eliminations, though. They claim that one. 6 eliminations now for Team 11. They hightail it and get out of danger. But I spoke too soon. Angles are not gonna work either way. That's going to be a little bit of cause for concern there, but Legend probably gonna have something to say about that one. There's they increase their tally from 6 to 7. Now we are down to 16 teams already. 57 players alive. Everyone's fragging out as the tournament requires. So Jaden also is gonna be caught out as well. No way for him to break the deadlock so far, but he has been quite proactive. He has been on a front foot. We've got Team 18. Not too shabby the way they have performed so far. It has been very on the nose. Very very conservative. There will be a little dynamic as to how they are trying to manage the game here, but either way it works. Might decide they want to do things a little bit more differently, but even the frames will give them a little bit of a paid off, and they will try to make something happen again into the corners that what we've seen. Right now, Team 12. Team 6 have been having a little bit of a tricky noggin, but it looks like Chaos Syndicate could be in a little bit of a world of trouble here as Chris is trying to keep them afloat. They've had 2 players knocked away. Not the best start that he would have liked, especially how far away they are from where the action is. Getting caught out in transition again. We've seen this before. That could be a lot of trouble as Nova is going to go down. Chris goes down as well. End of the road for Chaos Syndicate. And I'm so surprised because I can only imagine where this is happening. I can only imagine where they're losing out. It will be questions asked though about how they ended up in that position. Team 17 trying to a little bit closer than they currently can, but even at that, it has been quite imperative the way they have managed, playing as a duo. So that's where the chaos could resign from. Right now, we are in phase 2 of the zone, and it's going to be closing in roughly 10 seconds. That is where the questions are going to be asked from some of these teams. Gonna have to put them on the shoulders here to lift off. But anyone's game, it's anyone's game here though. It is. So it's really a matter of who wants it more. And who's going to decide that they want it more. That's what it's really going to be a very interesting dynamic there for 4K getting caught out with Max again. Team 14 on the front foot. We've seen them try so many different avenues to hold the zone for themselves, but it hasn't worked out the way they would have liked. That's why they're sitting here with no eliminations on the board, but there's still a lot of bodies in the game. So there's a big chance that they will have to at least secure some eliminations towards the end of the game. It looks like Cause are going to be caught out in transition there. Emperor not so lucky. He goes swept away, and back into the lobby he will go as well. Not the biggest drop from the position that they found themselves in. Team 18 also with the same ideas. They are chilling in North George, but it looks like they want to take the initiative and rid themselves of the opposition. Team 12 over to the other side, trying to make a rotation over to the north side. While all that is going on, Halls will lose another body. Ooh, out in the open. Well, that was dangerously close, but fortunately for him, he did have a little bit of cover. Team 18, they have been compromised here. I'm not sure they can hold on and hold out into these positions. There's a chance that they might be getting forced out into wider areas. Tani is smarter as he readjusts. Lusa goes down for Hawes. Hawes getting picked apart here on 3 different fronts, on 2 different angles as well. That's 1 for the books. But either way, that will be something different, something special as well. That will put us into a very, very interesting limelight. Again, it packs things into perspective as to who owns what, who tries to do something. YSP getting caught out there, and that's a trade-off that they were not expecting to have. Beastinho probably have to trade off as well. He switches to the AUG immediately as well. Sky goes down, trade-off again. Sani is putting belt to backside for another, but he is going to be discovered as well. Beastinho, no time for him. He closes out. And he is a menace with that AUG. Drops 2, might be going to drop the 3rd on the other side. For Team 12, they'll have to hold this on and hold the lines here. It's so difficult for them. There's a whole lot of chaos, and there's a whole lot of action going on so many different fronts, but it looks like Cut is going to make a dash for it. And he's trying to get his teammates back to full strength, and they have managed to do something about it. Grenades going out in style. Beastinho probably going to have to launch one into the corner, and he does bounce it off the walls. Beautiful grenade, beautiful angle. And Cut is immediately going to take one, and he goes for the second, and that will be a clutch. But it is going to be Apex who gets the final drop. 8 eliminations now for Team 12. They are looking very confident here. They did lose a player in that build-up, but it is a worthy sacrifice to make if you are going to get 8 eliminations in Phase 3 of the circle. Joker gets caught out as well. Courtesy of Smoke, he goes down. Bad idea, the way they have made their rotations as well. It is going to be very difficult for them to get out of box and into the better zones there. Going to be very difficult, but vehicles are the order of the day. As Team 12 are not in the zone right now. They do have a couple of seconds to spare to get their bearings in order, put themselves into those promising positions where they can be able to finish the game strongly. But again, it is going to take a lot. We are in Phase 3 of the circle, 10 seconds out before we move into the next phase where things are going to get dicier. The next zone shift is going to be something that will hurt a lot of teams, especially those that haven't made their way into much more central areas. And I'm not talking about teams that love to play by the edge of the circle, because those teams, we know exactly why they play the way they play. But it still costs a lot. It still costs something to hold areas as deep into the zone. Going as far as Erangel is concerned, we all know that the strategies here take a little bit more. For Shunt, he's probably have to hold on for team number 5 as they are on the front foot. It takes a little bit of time to keep the rhetoric on there. First shot with the S12K misses, but he's not going to miss the second time. Takes 2 shots. His S12K going band for band, but he loses a band instead, but he sends his teammate instead to go in instead, and he drops him off 1 apiece, and he exposes him, though he will get caught. He did not go for the drop, but he goes into the drink, goes into water. Not sure he can make his way up the hillside, though. I would be impressed if he does manage to make it happen. This is going to be a very interesting place for the final phase of the zone. It's not every day you see an area like this. Well, he didn't have to peek that hard, but he will learn the hard way not to peek again. He gets dropped away. Apex also trying to get an angle here, but the priority 1 would be to get his teammate back up so that he cannot peek again. That was a serious warning, and I'm pretty sure he will heed it. That team, if Team 14 decides to descend on them right now, they will not stand a chance. And this area of the zone, I think we're in the northern side, just east of Zarki, I believe. I mean, if you've played PUBG Mobile long enough, you're pretty I think you would know exactly where you are without having to pull open the map. And I'm pretty sure we're just in the northern side of the map, you know, just north of Saverni, towards that Zarki, east of Zarki area. shooting range districts, those areas north of the circle. I'm pretty sure. Yep, I was right. Shooting range is just around the corner here. Team 14 will be pulling up into the mix. It looks like it is Milan looking over to that hillside position. He spots the smoke, gives him a little bit of an inkling of what he wants to do there, but he will take cause for concern and pull a little bit behind because he knows they are by the edge of the circle. There's a high risk for third parties, but they know that they are also trying to pitch a team outside and gatekeep them, force them to make a mistake, force them into errors. And Team 11, the highest ranking team in the lobby right now with 15 eliminations, but they are only a duo. And it's going to be very difficult for them to see this game through, especially with the amount of full teams that we still have in the mix. We are down to 11 teams though, so their odds are not that poor. The angles and how wide the zone is going to be a very big problem for them. But hopefully Legend will do something legendary and keep the brothers in arms here. And he's gonna have to play for the edge of the circle again. This is a risky move. He's out in the open. It's a two-man step, and two men hold the entirety of the width here. It is going to be very, very interesting to see if they do it. And it looks like team number 5 have players inside of the water. I'm not sure what the idea between these guys is here, but they add to the numbers nonetheless. 16 eliminations and 8 between these two players. And that's something that they have accomplished. It is something that they have put together. Lokui is going to have to make a dash for it. And in a world, or rather in a lobby, where there's a team getting 15 or 16 eliminations, there's still a team here. That's 4 players alive, but 0 eliminations. That gives you a very interesting dynamic of what is really at play here. Oh, I miss the days where... Oh, yeah, he actually drops him. He drops him. Shunt had no idea. He gets dropped. Wow. Talk about reflexes from the main man. Wow. Dr. G17. You are a real surgeon. He surgically pulls him out. I'm not even... Man, I would hang my head up in shame if that happened to me. My goodness. Reflexes out of the world. Off the board. Again, but I think committing to this hillside position is going to hurt Team 11. I don't think they make it out of here, though. I think the terrain does not allow them to get back up the hillside. I think it's just unfortunate. I would be impressed if they actually find a way to make it up, but I don't think they will. Playing off the right-hand side, inside of the water, exposed. I'm pretty sure team number 5 know these guys are here. Is there a way up? I don't think there's a way up from here, though. So I think this is GG's for them, unless they wrap all the way around. But the play zone is very, very steep, and we're 15 seconds out. It doesn't look like that's going to be much here. But team number 14 on the rise, on the climb. They've got a drop in position, and they have kept it under wraps and under siege so far. And team 21, we're gonna have to put their foot down on this one. We have go down to 7 teams. The placement points have started to roll up in effect here. And team 13 is trying to stake their claim. They do spot a couple of opposition teams that look like they are starting to finally get into their rhythm, get into the groove. I don't think they do have a little bit of the zone there, but it is going to be another team that takes the credit. They pull up and take that position away from them, though. Mythic is going to have to set a sideline onto this one. They move out of position. They move out of that signature as well. But finally, their first elimination, courtesy, I believe, of Joker. He gets the drop on them. Another one taking a hit there. Their position is quite fruitful. It's starting to bear something for them. I think they are trying to get in bed with that chicken dinner. I think that is the only cause for success for them. I don't think they're gonna get up to 10 eliminations as far as I'm concerned in this game, but they can at least get 10 points from the chicken dinner, seeing as they do have the numbers. We'll see if they do close it out. Fortunately, that elimination did not go to them, so doesn't give them much of anything. Smoke's already inbound. We are in phase 6 of the circle. puts things into perspective how these teams have finally set themselves up. And like I said, we are just north of shooting range towards the eastern side of Sarki, and it looks like Smoke is going to be caught out by Apex, and he's going to be a little bit of a nasty trade-off there. Salte is trying to cut him through, he tries to hide behind the airdrop, but the going to turn him into target practice instead. Joker goes down, and he's going to be blown away with a fantastic grenade as well. And that's going to be a cause for concern again for this team. Can he provide a little bit of cover? Smokes out into the open, but it does work. Milan also trying to hold the sequence. He's going to be caught out as well. And Scud is going to bag it a little bit more. He has an idea. If he has a grenade, it's going to be curtains. Well, I said if he has a grenade, he's got 7. We're going to have to launch it there and turn that place into a mini red zone any moment from now. But Triple T spotted, and bullets will rain his way. I think he has been dropped away there with a UMP 45 ACP straight to the noggin and knocks his helmet clean off. He takes some more damage as well. Fortunately for them, they've got at least a couple of seconds to deal with the barrage. And Show Me will show him. Showtime is the showtime. He drops another with the AUG, bags him up, and blows the vehicle with the same caliber of magazine. 5.56s tearing through the opposition. We're down to 4 teams now, 7 players alive, playing off the northern side. When Apex 73 gets caught out, he's going to be knocked away as well. And now we're down to 6 players. And there is no full squad anymore. There is no full squad anymore. Everybody's taking hits. Nobody's at full strength. Everybody's getting called out. Tam Apex is over to the other side. They're up to 12 eliminations now. High hill and high ground position is going to be in effect here, but the play zone not favorable for SDG. 14 can't seem to make their way through. The smokes onto the sequence, but they're spotted out in the open. Trade-off is good, but he takes damage as well. That's 2 bodies. Core with 1 magazine. Apex, the Apex Predator drops the first. Mythic tries to play off the right-hand side. He's spotted. Goes down as well for Apex. Apex is mowing the lawn, dropping bodies in his wake. With the AUG sequence, he drops through, and he manages to get inside of the zone just at the right time. It is a 2 versus 1 now. Grenade launched over the top side. Takes a little bit more damage. Falls him over to the left-hand side again. Tries to pop through the smokes, shielding the vision. They can't spot him, and they can't make anything around it, but he's getting absolutely bombarded with grenade after grenade after grenade. He's into a red zone. He couldn't move out. And that is how you get yourself a chicken dinner on Frag Night. Sure. What a game that was. I mean, my word. Chicken dinner, well deserved, turning everything inside out. I'm pretty sure he did not. dynamic way to kick things off. Very interesting start. But Apex, it's from Red Team Enigma already on the front lines there. Total 8 eliminations. The MVP, well deserved as well. A total of 500 heals, almost 700 damage points. Interesting enough, he's the MVP, but I think there was someone that dealt significantly more damage than him. But you got to take the MVP from the MVP. He did survive significantly longer than that other player. So yeah, that is your MVP. But yeah, 1 game down, ladies and gentlemen. 3 more to go. We are heading into, I believe, Miramar. If it's not Miramar, it's Rondo, but because I know that the Erangel game is going to be the last game as well. So Apex on the front line there. You have your list of the top fraggers, and Sugat Data is going to be in there as well as Dr. G17 with the reflex, as we saw. Ninja MVP and Azalala is going to be in the draft as well. But like I said earlier, 1 game down, or 3 more to go to complete our total of 4 games. So stay locked in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the stream. Let's get your predictions for the next map, and we'll be right back after the break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is Frag Night. It is match number 2. We are in Miramar, the desert map. And that's where we are live and direct. The action is going to be brewing here as it goes on and on and on. Perspective of what we know. Gonna be got a little bit of a rock out to the pop out. One is going to keep it a little bit closer to the vest here. Chaos Syndicate have not been able to find it through. Oh, okay, we have team names now. W Production. Big shout out to Production. We have the team names now because I do really like seeing Team 12 and Team 17. Let's say add a little bit more personality. And now we have total deaths. Nearest team. Ooh, okay, this is cool. So if you look to the bottom of your screen, you can see the total death. This is, I don't think I've ever seen this before. So shout out to Production for giving us this one because I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, you'll see total deaths. We will see the nearest team, and then grenade eliminations, longest eliminations, and team damage. Okay, so these guys are close to Hustler Crew, if I'm not mistaken, just 50 meters out. So they're relatively very, very close to each other. Ooh, that is very interesting. Unity Esports with ideas of their own. The Ego Max trying to have to close that one out. If he can make his way through, it would be something special. Bites that one, goes down to the wire. And that's going to be a cause for concern for them as well. Ego Max, what he was expecting, but he gets caught out there by Kaylee from Hustler Crew. That's 2 eliminations, potential for 3 here. Does get the 3rd immediately, closes out that little spot. I'm quite surprised that Kaylee does not get knocked away there. What? How? How do you not get knocked away there? What? Oh, okay. Well, Koala's gonna be knocked away then instead. And Vinny's gonna have to trade one off as well. Those knocked away. End of the road for them. They will be knocked out of the game. And Delia from Revenant Esports probably gonna have to try something different there because the high ground position is not gonna favor him. So he almost gets popped to the side. And that is a plethora, a gold drop. The way they have at least managed the game so far has been very proactive, very instantaneous. Now, there is going to be a little press on from HopeX, but I think they can manage. Oh, well, I think I'm also going to have to try to manage their own expectations as well, because Goja's going to have to spin around the block here. Fortunately for them, they have the numbers, so they can take their time. They are sitting in Impala. Miss Luz, unfortunately, goes down, courtesy of YSP. He's going to have to try to hold the lines here. I mean, it is a 3-on-1. It is a 3 versus 1. Hustler crew can close this down. They can do something about this. And he is trying to get an angle there. Very, very tight. angle though. Doesn't look like much can happen there. Villain goes down again. Big drop over to that top side position. They're trying to hold it in, but there's too many bodies in the area and a whole lot of confusion because Vinny goes down as well. And Hustler Crew, they've turned this around on them. And Goja probably have to press forward now. He's got the S12K. He's got flashbanged as well. And you know, one thing I will love is teams that use all of the utilities, right? I do love a flashbang. I do love a flash grenade because of how disorienting it is. Oh, that's a beautiful, again, like I said, using the utilities, 2-for-1 special from Goja, and the Molotov will burn away the ops and now allows him to close the gap between him and the rest of the team from Hustler Crew. He's going to advance his position as well. He spots them out and he goes up for that left-hand side, pops through, and now he gives him a little bit of a rhetoric to press forward on. Katie could be in a little bit of trouble here, getting phased out. He tries to go, but that is the danger. That is the danger with having to do, you know, tips and tricks there. Try to go for the drop, but he goes for the right-hand side immediately as well. S12K straight to the chest and goes for the flush with the head as well. I mean, this guy is a serious player. Serious player. Hopex will love to have him on board. I mean, that was playing with fire though, trying to switch over to use the stun grenade. Again, I love a flashbang use. I love a stun grenade use. I love it when players do that. But if you're gonna, if you're gonna unpin a flashbang, right? If you're gonna unpin one, what you gotta do that before you pull up to the building. The moment you hop out of the car, you unpin. So we know that that's what you want to do, not when you get to the door and then you pull the pin. As far as PUBG Mobile is concerned, your your ops will hear the pin getting pulled. You know, same applies to frag grenades as well, right? It applies to frag grenades when you pull the pin. Anyone close to you will hear the pin getting pulled. That is why professional players, like we see in the PMGC and the likes, they pull grenades before they even pull up to the location where the grenade is supposed to land. They have pulled the pin seconds ago, so it's more like an extension of their arm when they toss it into the open or into that enclosed position. So the grenade goes off quickly, giving you little to no reaction time. Using the grenade as like an extension of your arm, like a whip, or something along those lines to inflict significant damage over a longer distance than an impact over a longer distance than a typical bullet would do. So if you are trying to stun, then just stun, man. You don't gotta take ages to do stuff like that. You absolutely do not have to. But either way, he came out on top. But if that did not work, that would have been the cause, right? Getting caught out trying to pull the pin for a stun grenade and getting just found out. Fortunately for him, his reflexes were top notch and they bailed him out there, but that was dangerously close. It is not every time a strategy like that is going to work. Leon is going to also get caught out. Probably going to have to try something as well, but it has worked in his favor so far. And that will give him at least some time to put in a much comfortable performance either way. But even at that, has kept it a buck, has kept it on the rise as Rye goes down as well. 666 starting quite nicely. They still have a man AFK. Hopefully he gets back into the game. Okay, he does get back into the game. It's going to be Githka. And Scott, one of the top players from match number 1 from Retem Nigma. And Tiama are going to have to press this on. Ooh, well, 2 strong players about to go head to head. It's going to be Apex going up against Joja there, but Joja's not going to be lucky this time. Gets discovered, gets knocked away, and gets flushed. That will be the end of the road. At the very least, he came up with something. Gonna have to at drop has given them some thought to how they want to keep the rest of the teams occupied here. We are in phase 2 of the circle, though, so this is where decisions are going to be made. As TM will be pulling up a little bit closer and closer. These are one of those teams that do love to play by the edge of the circle, so they try to keep teams boxed in. They have spotted one of those teams that they are trying to box in, but that is a team that is ready for them, and they will let the shots fly and give them something to worry about. Right now, Nigma is going to have to be on the horizon. Ooh, the loot truck is getting tossed aside, tossed apart, tossed open too. It will be a time and place for having to manage the zone and all of the expectations that come with managing the zone. Right now, it's all about getting into the zone, getting into the right spaces of the zone as well. But if you don't, there's a very uncomfortable conversation that will be had. You can chew there, gets knocked away in that trade-off, but his teammates are in the vicinity. Vendetta Esports could be in a world of trouble here. They can't hold it around. The grenade is tossed here. It could cause some problems though. And Apex is gonna have to hold on into that corner. Pops the grenade over to the left-hand side. His teammate is right on cue. And he shuts it all the way down. That's a very nasty rhetoric, though. Chaos Syndicate have pulled up to the hillside. Wait, was it Chaos Syndicate that lost a man? It was. It was actually Chaos Syndicate. They lost a man. But they do have a better angle here against Vendetta if they can just get their angles right. They do have a better position up onto that hillside. I think they will be trying to look down on them and make sure that they keep them on the lower ground, not allowing them to turn around. Again, Tam getting caught out as well. Reflex is going to steal that one away. And the winners of match number 1 have been knocked out of the game. They got a couple of eliminations though, but it was not enough to keep them in the rise. As you can see, 32 points, 7 eliminations in the game. Good start, but you know, if you're trying to lead the pack, you got to do a whole lot better than that, and at least stay into the final third. Because right now, DSA still have a chance to do something, at least reduce the deficit. Vendetta Esports as well, similar concept, but they do have 7 eliminations as well, and they have 3 players alive. Fear with 2, TS with 3, and is that Savage? Savage with 2 as well. Yeah. So we will see. We will absolutely see. And there will be a reckoning. Job done. Casanova leaned into the window a little bit too much there. He does take some damage, but it doesn't stop anything. Oh, that grenade could have been something nasty, but he manages to dodge out just in time. Is he about to collaborate? Is he about to collaborate again? Pops one over to the other side again, gets caught out, and he pops through. Molotov in hand there from Milan. He's about to go Italian there, pops through into the right hand side, goes for the second one. Oh! And I said it! Legion Reborn, Casanova, he is equal to the task. And a 1v2. And I said it, every time you want to use a utility, you have to pop it, ready to let it go. But he popped the Molotov when he arrived at the building, and Legend Reborn Casanova had something for him, and he dropped them off the stairs, packed them in. 2v1, nothing to it. Casanova gets the chicken dinner. Legion Reborn turn up the heat. 700 on the board for Casanova, 11 eliminations on the game. What a finish. 2v1 against Ritzy, but did not stop it, not even in the game play, not even in the game state. 21 points, well deserved as well. My goodness, Casanova, you have a fan in me, because this is something I spoke about earlier in the game. 5 eliminations for him as well. 900 for, yeah, reflexes with 2 grenade eliminations. 422 for Max Stappen with all of those third parties. This does not surprise me. 10k in meters traveled by Sad from Chaos Syndicate. 75 bodies, 75 knocks, 68 bodies caught, 422 on the distance covered, 14k in damage dealt. I think that's still around what we had in the previous game though as well. So it tallies a little bit more consistent. We did have less heals in this game as opposed to what we had in Erangel though, so that gives you a little bit of how Miramar has been, of how dynamic Miramar can easily get. But either way, it has still been a solid game. I'll take a look at that. Your MVP, it is going to be Casanova, and it is absolutely well deserved. What a play that was in the final third. My word, this guy, eyes are going to be on him after that play. You gotta love it. 43 heals though, 43. I mean, he didn't even heal that much, but you know, the amount of heals he had compared to the amount of damage he dealt, yeah, this is a nasty guy. 21 points on the board, and take a look at that. Savage Revenge with 12 points on the board. 10 for Hopex, Ritzy with 9. You know, interestingly enough, Ritzy is the team that finished in second place, but look at them in fourth. That's to tell you that you have to do a whole lot more. Some teams are outdoing you, even if they don't get into the final third. Hustler Crew, similar as well, same idea. Revenant, Unity, Mystic Esports, and MS Esports, unfortunately, no points on the board for them. Hopefully, they will find something going into Rondo. But yes, speaking of Rondo, that is map number 3. So stay tuned and wait and lock in with me as we go into that game. But taking a look at your top fraggers with Casanova and Aspect leading the charge. Again, I'm Vertoon, I guess. Yeah, Vertoon. We just call him Vertoon. And Trigger from VND, Vendetta, and Reflex is from HB. And also from Upex Esports. These guys are looking very confident the way they finished in this match number 2. But yes, sir, it is the game, and that's what we love to see nonetheless. MVP performances from MVP players. And taking a look at the standings as it looks right now, Tim, that solid performance they had in game 1 is still carrying them on, and Legion Reborn is going to chase them out in second place as well. On the other side, we've got 666, Strike Force, and Mizar, all on the top draw, all the way down to MS Esports, Unity, and Chaos Syndicate, who are still yet to record any points post 2 games. Brought in Arms in third place, though. Ritzy Esports also in the conversation with 19. Consistency is starting to build up, but Vendetta, Fury Sports, Hostler Crew, Mystic, Hopex, and Savage Revenge, it is still anyone's game for them in that sequence and in that bubble of space. But like I said earlier, Chaos Syndicate, Unity Esports, and MS Esports still yet to secure any points in this game, in the entirety of this tournament so far. Hopefully they will find their footing in Rondo. I mean, Rondo gives everyone everything, so we're going to keep that one into the mix to go into match number 3. But so far, MVP race continues. Apex Frontier still leading the charge, 9 eliminations to the good as well, even though they didn't necessarily have a solid game overall, but he still managed to put up some numbers in the previous game, and we'll see if there's going to be more to be done. Legend is also in the conversation. Scott still stays. Aspect and Ninja, they are still firing on, and they're still firing through. But yes, sir, 2 games down. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it is match number 3. It is Rondo, where the recalls don't stop, and the teams are going to be on the front foot and the front line here. And we've got a plane path that cuts through from the north into the southwest. And this is where the a little bit more concern to some of those teams that are still yet to find their footing. This is the opportunity to get a little bit closer, to get their morale boosted up. I mean, Rondo does that for you. And this is where well, Chaos Syndicate are doing the exact same thing though. They're trying to close out the corner. Give them a little bit though. Count also goes down. I mean, he has been having a very horrendous day today though, if I'm being honest. But hopefully he snaps out of it, and he snaps out of it soon. There's more where that came from. Well, Vendetta Esports are probably gonna have to do something about it though if they want to close out a little bit more shots there, trade off into the other side, but no dice, as he will be getting knocked away there. Chaos Esports, or Chaos Syndicate Esports, are trying to look very confident. Those in arms though, they've done a good job of staying afloat. You know, they don't let the game run away from them at all. They still stick within the leaderboard. They still reduce the deficits here and there, but again, there's still a whole lot more they need to do. But right now, best performance so far for Chaos Syndicate. They're finally getting their points on the board. 4 eliminations, and they are looking very confident in the way they have addressed the issues that has plagued them so far. They've put everything and anything behind it, so it has been a very, very productive chain of events, if you ask me. But even at that, who wants a little bit more? Fury Sports also on the course. Reborn. Gonna have to lose out there. Not the best start that they've had in this game. They lose yet another Casanova MVP from previous game. Fortunately, he is discovered, and it is Hustler Crew that pull up into the mix. It is KC on the beat here. Chris is going to have to trade off again. Libby goes down. Now that's going to be an opening that they have been looking for. Chaos Syndicate, though, they are on the front foot. They have secured a couple of eliminations as well. So this is not lost on them, not even in the slightest. They know exactly what they want to do. They know exactly how they want to do it. It's going to be the little trade-off. From what we've seen, it has been very difficult, but it has worked, though. If even though it has been difficult, it has worked. You know, if there's anything that I know is all of these transition teams, it is always going to be difficult for them, but they will always find a way to make it work. And now the pressure is relentless here. It has been onto the lines, onto the drops. It's not the crazy shout. Now the looking again, they've put it into the back of a trade-off position, Hopex, but I mean, he Gorgia is him. 8 eliminations. 8 eliminations, while the rest of his teammates have absolutely nothing. I just know his back is hurting right now. I just know his back is absolutely cooked right now. And I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised, not even in the slightest. But either way, it is one of those things. And we will see if there's more to look out for. All of the potential, all of the lines players are trying to cross here. It has been very interesting the way they have managed it so far. But it is on the lines. Ritzy Esports coming off the back of that second place finish, going up against Legion Reborn. I'm pretty sure they've highlighted how they would want to perform better in a 2 versus 1 situation the next time. So it's the little trade-off with having to manage those sequences and what we've seen so far. But again, it puts them into those positions either way. Hopefully they will find a way around it, though. There will be some little bits of thoughts and prayers for Strike Force right now, because they've done something different. They've tried to stay on task, to stay on the drop, on the positions, and it has been ideal, but there's still a long way to go. And Hopex will add a couple more. Now they're up to 10. Georgia has packed 9. 90% of their eliminations. It is all... I mean, he's already MVP at this point. Even if he gets eliminated now, he already has to be MVP of this match. He already has to be. You know, I don't think any... Because what else could you possibly want to play? What else could you possibly want to do, you know, to match up to him at this stage? What are you going to do? How well can you take up the mantle? How much pressure can you swallow up for your team? That's the real question. Revenant Esports, we have them answers themselves as go through eliminations. One thing about Rondo is you gotta understand the fact that teams will stay as alive as possible every chance they get. We've still got 17 teams in phase 3 of the zone, and it's going to drop so drastically by the time we get to the zone 5. By zone 4, mid zone 4, it is going to drop drastically. Chat, by I think by zone 4, mid zone 4, we're going to be down to at least like 13 teams by mid zone 4. That's just the nasty way Rondo likes to take teams away. It is such a nasty experience. By mid zone 4, we are going to have at least lost like 4 teams, 3 at the minimum, 13 to 14 teams left. You know, it's going to drop relatively very nasty by the time it gets there. But we've got a couple of seconds to reduce the deficit for some of these teams. The Hustler crew getting caught out in transition again is getting a very difficult shift. It's not the way that they have held off onto the lines there, but they will try again. Chaos Syndicate starting to find their groove, find their rhythm. They're on to 6 now. Climbing off the leaderboards. Traveling higher and higher. Chaos Syndicate have kept it in either way. It has been something of concern for some of those teams that are still trying to make their way into the zone though by phase 3. And if you're not in the zone by now, what exactly is your plan? But Chaos Syndicate, as you well know, their plan is to stick to the edge of the zone and gatekeep as many teams as possible. The oldest strategy in the book, but it works. It is old, but it is effective. It just burns a lot of utilities, though. That's the only downside. You know, that's the only thing I would consider a downside. The burning of utilities, you know, because every single time you do it, you still have to account for the utilities that you don't use, and the ones that you do use, it's going to be difficult to replace them because you're fighting enemies that you can't necessarily loot, especially if it's, you know, teams that decide they want to tire you out and burn your energy, things like that. You always have to be very certain with things like that. So you have to be sure, you have to be certain, and that's what's important. But right now, right, we're about to be mid phase 4 by the end of this game. Once the zone starts to move, and you see how many teams will start to fall off. There's about to be a very interesting shift here. Ninja, the MVP, trades off into the other side, gets the knock immediately, goes for the flush, quick one. Brothers in Arms are climbing up as well. We've lost one team quickly, and another one will be biting the bust. But the trade-off is going to come in quick succession as well. Brothers in Arms have been looking very, very confluent in the way they have managed. We lose yet another team. That's 2 teams in the space of 45 seconds. That is how quickly they've started to drop. You can look at how insane the feed is going. But take a look at that 17 eliminations for Hopex. And inside of that 17, I can only imagine how many Hoja has right now for that team. But the numbers will not stop the party. Open space now for Gurus, but immediately getting swept aside. He was pulling up into the scene, trying to break inside of the zone, but gets caught in that transition again. Takes another one, and he bites the dust. Tosses a Molotov for good measure over to the right-hand side. Gets the drop on. But Savage Revenge, though, how much time and space can they cover here? It's going to be a very, very long and dramatic turn of events the way they have set themselves up, but we'll see. How possible can it be for them? But right now, Verdun is going to be getting his teammates back up. Oh, what a grenade that was. If he launches another one, it's going to be a long night. For them, Legend from Brothers in Arms is going to have to press forward. Gets the first drop. Oh! Oh, that was very sweet. The feint, the body feint, the swing from side to side, and like I said, midway through zone 4, We have lost 3 teams, just as I predicted. 3 teams have dropped in quick succession. Before the zone probably runs out, probably lose the next team as well. Triple T on the siege as well. Another one binding the dust, and another one following suit. Savage Revenge back to somewhat of full strength, playing as a duo now though. No chance for them. Play zone already hot on the heels, reducing the distance, cutting out the deficit, and it has been a very, very long shout for them. Reaper is getting caught out. Ritzy Esports adding more, dropping one for the other side. 4 eliminations to the good now. And once again, they are a duo. And this is a team that knows how to play as a duo as well. And they have a lot of ground to cover. But they are very equal to the task of getting themselves across the line. We saw them do that in the previous game. Put a little bit more distance between themselves and the opposition teams that are trying to make an example of them. Shots are leveraging. Is he popping shots from that little spot? Wow. Oh, yes, he is. And his shots are connecting. Aspect. You naughty boy. What an angle. Because I'm pretty sure they cannot shoot back at him. You know, it's so interesting though. That particular angle there. He can deal damage from that little hole. But I'm pretty sure he cannot be shot at from that same hole. That is the difference. You know, it's more offensive than defensive there. Hoopex are still continuing to add more. They're up to 20 eliminations now. And now finally call off the team again. Robin Hood gets the turb into the other side. Feints off. Big shot. And closes that one out. Hoopex up to 24-17. Agoja, surely he's MVP now. If you didn't think so before, I'm pretty sure you know that now. What a game he has had. And now there's more where that came from. But Tiam, with all of this that's going on, Tiam are still in the driver's seat. The 24 eliminations is no easy feat, but they lose 2 in the process. Now things are about to get very dicey for them. Turbine Hood on the ground floor, on the ground at least. Floor plan trying to execute in the final sequence there, getting a couple of shots, raining forward as well as he drops more and more into the deeper side of the zone. It is going to be a very, very hard shift, but it's going to be a possible shift, and the Twister reins it in, gets a drop into the dash from Ritzy Esports. Again, it is Milan that's going to be the last one left. He's been spotted by Twister. Shots are going to fly through, and he dodges that one, but he will leave his teammate out in the cold, and he knocks him all the way through. Trigger continues to apply pressure, moving and advancing forward as well. Sad goes down. Chaos Syndicate on the siege, under trouble again. And it's time. 30 seconds on the clock before the play zone starts to force them out again. And now Tiam are also going to advance their position as well. They want to reduce the distance covered for the rest of the opposition teams trying to make it into the zone. If there's anything that Nigma will do, is they will be in the zone. That is why they are one of my favorite teams to watch in this Frag night so far. They will do anything, whatever it takes, they will be in the zone. Unfortunate thing for Scott, though, he doesn't have any shotgun shells for that S12K, so potentially that could bite him in the backside. His teammate has handed him a couple, though. He does go for the reload, but he will have to be very, very economical with those shotgun shells. Can't go around wasting bullets, as Sky will get another one in the bag for Tiam, adding something to the deficit and gives them a couple more. Ritzy Esports now playing off the right-hand side. They're spotted. Doesn't look like much. Milan is very low, very, very low. He's taking damage, more and more damage as his scene goes on. And Apex has a sight line onto that position. He advances a little bit closer. Milan is protected by the Doritos, but the S12K will make quick work of him and shuts him down immediately. We're down to the last 2 teams now. Dropping to the other side. Again, Legion Reborn about to do a madness. Can they do a 2-man step? Can they do a back-to-back chicken dinner? Doesn't look like it's going to be the case, though, because Tikazo is going to put the pressure on them with more grenades flying through. There's 3 bodies for them, though. It's a 4v3, but that that has not stopped Legion Reborn before. Casanova, the main man, he is equal to the task. He might be able to see them through. He might be able to deliver them to the promised land, but I spoke too soon. Tikazo spots his head, and off with your head he goes. Drops him immediately, but Aspect is still alive. Could still be a thorn in their side. Plays off the left-hand side. Tikazo continues to mount the pressure on. Doesn't haul, doesn't stop. Grenade after grenade. 2-for-1 special. Over to the right-hand side again. Tikazo doesn't want to give away the bodies, but he continues to apply the pressure. Twister has to be forced out wide. Plays on behind. Sky's exposed. He gets dropped away by Twister, but Twister's in the blue zone, and this is the worst time to be in the blue, but he manages to chunk it up and take it up through. Scutty goes down as well. Tiam in trouble. There's two bodies getting caught outside. Casanova tries to run through. Twister's caught out. Plays over to the left-hand side. Aspect pops through. The smoke over to the sequence side. Tries to go for the drop, but no dice. Numbers advantage will come and reign supreme. Nigma, chicken dinner, well deserved. Again and again, they take the game. Second chicken dinner for Nigma. Second chicken dinner. 2 out of 3. But again, Legion Reborn did not let them have it easy. That would have been something special. 9 eliminations for them, though. Like I said, if there's anything that TM Nigma will do, is they will be in the zone. They will absolutely be in the zone. That's what we love to see. Tikazo was on the breaks there. Apex also leading the charge. 300 on the board though. Sky, it did not stop that rhetoric, not even in the slightest bit. 17 for Goja, my word. I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw something like that though in any tournament. I don't think I've seen anything like that. 17 eliminations, my goodness. 1 for Trigger though. Could work out the way they were intending. Travel distance also going to have to put things into perspective the way they have managed it so far, but it has worked. It has worked wonders. If you ask me, it has absolutely worked wonders. It is something that you have to respect. You just have to respect it. You just have to. And either way, the shot comes through. 117 total knocks to 109 eliminations. 12k in heals and 21,000 damage dealt. I mean, that's like 3 times the number from the previous game. My word. Wow. Is it 3 times the number or 2 times the number? I think 2 times the number from the previous game than what we had. I mean, that tells you exactly what Rondo offers. Rondo gives you that opportunity to express yourself, to get out of your comfort zone, get a little bit more confidence. And that's what we love to see. But Goja, my goodness, what a player. 17 is the number. 2,200 plus in total damage. And what kind of nasty business is this, man? My word. Absolute drag. This guy has been absolutely unreal. And that's what we love to see. Unreal players doing unreal things, and Frag Night being the destination where you see that happen. 28 points for 28 points for Hopex. Nigma in second place. I mean, look at the second place team being the chicken dinner team, towering away 9 points clear. It's nasty. Legion Reborn still putting up numbers. Mystic Esports finally getting something on the board. Horse Esports, Unity, and 666 unfortunately were the victims of this game. They were not able to get anything on the board for themselves. Ritzy and Savage Revenge did tie though for 10 apiece. So Ritzy and Legion Reborn, the top 2 from match number 2, still managed to stay inside of the top 5 for match number 3. And the match number 3, I mean, it doesn't need any more glazing, but 17 elimination for Goja. We saw a little bit of a taste of how solid of a player he is, though, in the Miramar game. We saw that as well. But Turbine Hood also in the mix for Hopex, and the guys from Chaos Syndicate. Finally, Chris getting on the board. Hustler Crew with KC. 3 eliminations for him as well. Same Casanova. The top player from match number 2 still makes the list in match number 3, coming in at number 5 for Legion Reborn. Action continues either way, as we have got ourselves more action where that came from. But taking a look at the leaderboard for this game, Chaos Syndicate putting themselves inside of the top echelon of the bottom echelon with 12 points on the board. 9 for Strike Force, 8 for Mizar, and now Red Enigma have still kept the gap. They have still kept it going with 2 chicken dinners and a solid performance. But take a look at Hopex, 3 placement points but 38 eliminations, putting them all the way up into second place. Legion Reborn chasing them down as well in third place. Also looking through Unity Esports, the only team now post match 3 has secured no points so far, even inside of Rondo. They just couldn't hack it. Unfortunate scenes for them. But on the other side, Brothers in Arms, Vendetta, Beer Esports, and Savage Revenge still in that bubble, still chasing things down. Hustler Crew also in the bubble. But Mystic Esports still playing on the other side, still hopping on the fence. There's a chance that Chaos Syndicate passes them in the final game. But that is the story as it unfolds, ladies and gentlemen. 3 games down, 1 more to go. We just concluded Rondo. We'll give you guys more action where that one is going to head through, but I think we are still going to have that road to MVP 3-on-3. Coach, I mean, he's already the MVP. Yeah, ain't nobody catching him. There's nobody catching him, surely. Surely nobody catches this guy, man. 21 eliminations at an average of 735. Apex is going to be chasing Legend as well, and Turbine Hood and Casanova all trying their absolute best, but I don't think anyone is going to catch this guy. But we'll see though. Match number 4 is coming up next after the break. Yo, Demon, are we good? Hello? Yeah, we good? Don't have the feed anymore. Yo, Dimo, what's going on? Yeah, but yeah, I'm not seeing anything yet. The action continues here. We are down to phase 3 of the zone, and we are down to the last 8 teams, and we're down to 19 players, all vying for a little bit of something different. But it is the usual suspects. Red Team Enigma are on the front lines here. They add a little bit more where that came from, but so far 4 eliminations. They did lose Scott in the little bit of the mishap and the mix-up that happened there, but did not stop them from pressing forward, and press on they will. Up to 4 now. Can Hustler Crew turn up the heat? Can they add a little bit more where that came from? Because they are looking very, very, very strong. 7 eliminations, and this one is evenly spread around. Would have been nice to have a little bit of a live leaderboard. See how close all of these teams are. Because remember, Red Team and I think the guys from Hopex, about 10 points between them. It's like Reflex is going to trade one or the other. Hopex continue their onslaught onto the rest of this lobby. Zone is hot and heavy, already on the move, and they're going to have to press forward again. Looks like it's Hustler Crew under siege, and it is Kaylee getting caught out in that sequence, and looks like they're not going to give the cover as they would have expected. A little bit of cover to work through, and KC gets the angle on Goja, but again, he is too far out. Jemson as well, too far out. Can they do anything from this distance? I don't think they can. And you know, that's a danger with having to play off a split. It is going to be very difficult. But right now, Hopex, my goodness, 14 eliminations, and they're riding Riot. They're ruining the opposition again. And they add another 15. Vinny, the next one to go down. Unfortunate scenes there for Hustler Crew because they couldn't. It worked, you know. They got a couple of damage points. You know, they were able to split them across the ends there, but unfortunately, they were still too far away to cause any sort of problems. And that's just one of those things that you have to deal with. That's just one of those things that has to come through and lock into the positions again. But they probably have to try something different now. Beckons again for Hopex. 8 for Goja. Again, this guy. He's roughly about to average 30, right? He's about to average 30 eliminations in 4 games. My word, that is nasty work. And Hamza will get a drop, get a bit of a taste on the opposition. And he is going to lap that one up. It's going to take a little bit more than sequestered, but it will get the job done either way. Closes up the space is there, but they add more. Advance a little bit closer to the edge. They're trying to deal with Hamza. The rest of the guys from US again, they try to spin it all the way across the board there. Shots onto the other side. Let's get the drop in. Ooh, are they gonna fall for this? If they do, it's gonna be risky, and they will be falling for it. OPEC's not gonna have to press forward. But Hamza already making a quick dash for it. They know that this is a trap not worth baiting. And we lose yet another. This time it's Enigma. Gets the job done. Up to 14 players now alive. We're down to 6 teams. Red Team Enigma up to 5 elims. They're advancing forward. But again, it is really a battle between Red Team Enigma and Hopex. And Hopex have all of the plethora right now. They cannot allow Hopex to win this game, though. Enigma. Yes, they have a 10-point buffer, but that 10-point buffer has already been covered. 15 eliminations. They've been caught. Now is a matter of national security. They cannot allow Hopex to keep dropping bodies while they do nothing. They cannot allow Hopex to do another 20 plus elimination game unless they get the chicken dinner. That is the only results that will work for Red Team Enigma. Or they go themselves and eliminate the guys from Hopex and get the job done. But can that work? Oh, Vexon's going to be knocked away, but a trade-off immediately there from Soban. And he's going to be knocked away. FTF Old School in a major break of trouble there. They can find a way around. This might work something. Hamza is trying to play off that back end line position. He's got an angle and a sight line over to the guys from Hustler Crew. Last 2 left. Goja's already making a dash for it over the right-hand side. Probably going to have to force them into a little bit of a sandwich here. Goja's already making a dash for it. His position already compromised. A big spray to follow suit. And Goja gets the drop on him. Smoke's already coming through. And immediately, Hopex pull up. Goja already making a dash for it. If Slavi Gaming can get the drop on Goja, he might be able to do something about it. Again, launches on. That's a beautiful grenade, and he does connect. Goja takes a lot of damage there. That's a lot of damage on him. One touch is going to get the job done if he can circle it through, but no dice. Tries to go in a 1v1 scenario. Slavia Gaming again trying to hold it in. Old School. Can they lurkle back again, get the angle drop, but he takes damage, and he gets dropped by Turbino from inside the house. And Hustler Crew are going to be the next one inside sequence now. 18 eliminations. They're dropping bodies and bodies and bodies everywhere they go. Apex and Tiam already making a dash for it, but they want to get a piece of the action as well. They need to make sure that they eliminate Hopex. If they do, they finish in first place. But they cannot allow Hopex to get any more points, because this is where things will get from bad to worse. And Risk Esports are going to have to add a little bit more where that came from. They drop yet another. Sky goes down as well. It is Jensen now setting the sights on. If Jensen and the guys from Hustler Crew put them out, it is a job well done for Hopex right now. Them cannot afford to lose out. They cannot afford to lose any players at this stage. They cannot afford to give this game away. It is still very possible for them to win this game, but they can't afford any mistakes. The grenades, though, they don't stop. From KC, he bangs more and more as he sets it through. Jimson onto the other side. If Goja gets knocked away, there's going to be trouble in paradise for Hopex right now. If he can find a way around. I'm not sure if KC knew that he damaged them, though. I don't think he knew that he damaged them, because that would have an opportunity for Jimson to press the advantage and reduce the numbers for Hopex into at least a deficit of 3. But right now, Hustler Crew have all of the advantage. They have a little bit of space, but they don't have the numbers. They can't manage to hold this little central position all by themselves. They are only a duo. It is going to require a major amount of concentration to keep things very balanced, to keep things kosher. And that's the trade-off they are willing to make. Turbino now pulling up into the mix as well. Gets the first drop and goes for the second. Goes for the flush. Tiam, this is an opportunity for them to take the game up on the score sheet, up on its head right now for Turbino as he packs one in, another one. And now an opportunity for him to get his teammates back up. But again, the pressure is on. KC goes for the S12K, backs it up. And Goja, the MVP, is going to be stopped dead in his tracks. And now Tim, they smell blood in the water. They know the job is done. And they're going to pull up in full misery. They drop another. Hopex eliminated by the number 1 on the call sheet. And now the drama is on. Hopex lose another, but they're still trying to hold it in. But that's going to be the end of the road for them. Now Tim have this one to go through, going all the way down to the wire. Apex trying to get his teammate back up. More grenades flying through. If Hustler Crew do something nasty here, they might be able to hand this game to Hopex, but surely the job is going to be run through. KC pops over to the right hand side. Jump shot is good, and the job is done. They wrap it up, and now a chicken dinner is the only result. The best result now for Red Team Nagma. Only result that will matter to them is a chicken dinner. That is the only way they snatch this game potentially away from the jaws of Hopex. But now this is a final sequence right now, because Savage Can they hold on? Can they turn this around? Can they deny the points? Again, chicken dinner is on the horizon here, or this could be a spoiler. We've seen a 1v2 today. We could possibly see a 1v3, but the angles are tighter right now. Onto his position. Show gets kept called out. Trade-off is good. And surely now they need the chicken dinner and they need the eliminations to back it up. But did they do enough? I think they got 10. I think it got 18 in total. Is that enough to see it through, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not sure, but we are about to find out. My goodness, my word. I mean, talk about finishing strong. Talk about finishing right. It is something of a necessity. The way this game has transcended. Again, 8 eliminations. They finished strongly. 3 chicken dinners out of 4. They have to win, right, chat? They have to win. 3 chicken dinners out of 4. They have to win the game. They have to win the tournament. If they don't win, it is going to be so painful. If they don't win, because I don't know if they got enough points, because these guys did a nasty number. Goja again, 9 eliminations, 1300, and Lavi Gaming did get 2 green eliminations, 394 distance covers by Enigma, and 13k distance traveled by Gazo from Enigma. They press it forward again. If they can see this one through, though, that's where it all lies. That is all that is important at this stage. So, chat, we're going to find out if they do, if they see it, if they can believe it. We had a very decent turnout, very decent numbers as well in this game. I mean, take a look at the numbers. It gives you a little bit of context as to how hard these teams were going. They were going absolutely hard. Going harder than I've seen in a while. And I've seen a lot of teams go hard, you know. I've seen a lot of teams go absolutely hard, but that is the beauty of Frag Night. You frag out. 9 total eliminations, though, for the MVP. Again, back-to-back MVP. You have to respect the game, man, from Goja. And yes, he did do 30. He did 30, chat. 30 eliminations in 4 games is criminal activity, chat. Is criminal activity. 1300 on total damage, though. Yes, similar to what he did in previous game as well. 295 in the heels, big game, 3 headshots as well to follow suit. It is a natural way to close the gap. Solid way to close the gap. Looking very, very press resistant either way. Did also manage a grenade elimination just for the plot. He just did that for the plot, just to tell everyone, yeah, I don't just use guns. I can cook with grenades as well. And cook he did. My word. What a player this guy has been. I mean, if anyone knows what team if he's playing in like the PMNC right now, because you know, I have to know if he's playing PMNC for his country. But yeah, 23 points for Hopex, 18 for Retiam Nigma. I think Retiam Nigma did just well enough to win the game, because I mean, 23 points. Yeah, I think they had a 10-point lead. So yes, I think they had a 10-point lead, and this is a 5-point lead. So I think a chicken dinner from Hopex would have killed everything, but you know, it was not enough. But Hustler Crew 15, Brothers in Arms with 10, 666, Apex Esports and Mystic Esports, unfortunately no points on the board for them. Goja still leading the charge here. 9 eliminations, 6 for Legends, 6 for Turbino as well, 5 for KC, 4 for Apex from Retiam Nigma. And Hustler Crew did manage to get someone in the conversation as well. Hopex also in the mix. They put in a ruthless performance, but yes sir, Mystic Esports with 14, 12 for Mizar and 12 for Chaos Syndicate as well, and the Strike Force with 3, 666 with 8, and Revenant Esports with 6, Apex Esports with 3, MS Esports on the other side. And take a look at that, Retiam Nigma finishing strongly, 69-64 for Hopex. Hopex did everything they could. They put the pressure on, but it was not enough. Legion Reborn still maintained top 3, but that is the way the cookie crumbles. Finally, Horse and Unity put some points on the board, And the MVP, of course, none other than Goja, finishing strongly, 30 eliminations. Apex did do all he could. He chased down, but it was not enough. 16 on the board for him, 15 for Turbino, Legend with 14 and 12 for KC. Ladies and gentlemen, what a ride it has been. All the action in Frag Night, it has come to an end. And what a ride it has been. Absolutely incredible performance from Goja, especially what a player he has been. Hopefully I get to see him again in Frag Night, but you know, it's still part of the wherewithal where the performances that we've seen so far. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to call it a night. Big shout out to everyone that put this together, Syndicate and the production team in the back, giving you all of this amazing stats and GFX. Until then, it is Priest out. We'll see you guys in the next one.